to defeat me, right? So you got a corrupt campaign finance system in which billionaires, in both political parties, by the way, I think Republicans now more than Democrats, but both parties, spend huge amounts of money. Elon Musk, the richest guy on earth, spent some $270 million to elect Donald Trump president. So, Musk has his own agenda. He wants Trump president. Others, billionaires, have their agenda. That's called a corrupt system, all right? What democracy, in my view, and you can argue with me if you want, is you and I, you're running for office, you want to run against me? Good. What are your ideas? Take them to the people. People like your ideas better than me, you're going to win, all right? It's not me going out raising money, billions or millions of dollars to defeat you, to lie about you, to put ugly 30-second ads on the air, right?
Right.
Okay. It's what democracy is, a real debate on the issues.
Yeah.
All right, disagree with me. So what? It's called democracy, right? Yeah. Okay. But increasingly, what politics in America is about are super PACs, where if you're a billionaire, you can put, that's what Musk does, hundreds of millions of dollars. And again, it's not just Musk. Democratic billionaires do the same.
Oh yeah, there's the Koch brothers over the years. There's the Adelsons. There's all these different huge, just big pockets that are influencing things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A multi-billion. So when these guys control the political process, you're not going to have a government that works for ordinary people. And it's not just healthcare. It's many, many other issues. So to my mind, by the way, when we talk about bringing about the necessary changes this country needs, a campaign finance reform and doing away with Citizens United, that terrible Supreme Court decision, top of the list.
Citizens United, bring that decision up.
Citizens United was the Supreme Court decision that said, you're a billionaire, okay? You got it?
Mm-hmm.
You have the freedom of speech, First Amendment, to say anything you want about Bernie Sanders. You want to put ads on the air, you can spend zillions of dollars, freedom of speech, and that's what Citizens United said. And obviously that undermines democracy because it allows billionaires the right to buy elections.
And can we bring this back to a vote? Like, will Mike Johnson bring this back to a vote?
No, he likes Citizens United because it works very well for those guys. And I got to tell you, some Democrats like it too. But I think the American people, you go out and you talk to, again, people all across the political spectrum, they understand you're not a democracy when billionaires buy elections.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It doesn't even feel like either one of these parties works for anybody anymore. Like, if anything, in the past few years, it's really started to feel like, oh, all these guys are working for somebody else, and we're just this other group of people down here. Because you have, like, there are politicians online that are like yelling at voters for support about stuff. It's like, we voted for you. Like, yell upwards, like it just, I don't know. It just, it feels like a total dead end now. It just feels like, most people just want to be elected now so they can make a profit somehow themselves. It almost feels like a business venture if you want to be a politician.
I wouldn't frame it in that way. I would, frame it.
It feels like that as a regular person, that's how it seems a lot of times.
Okay. I would say it's kind of cool to be a congressman or a senator, right?
Oh, that's super cool.
Get your name in the paper, you get on nice shows like this one and all that stuff. And you have a certain amount of power.
Yeah.
I mean, that's real. And you associate with the rich and the famous, and that's cool, I guess. But, that speaks to where we are as a nation today. And here's, I think, maybe the major point that I want to make. You're living in the richest country in the history of the world. Theoretically, at least, that should mean that all of our people have a decent standard of living, right? We should not have people a few blocks from here sleeping out on the street. We should not have people unable to afford health care, kids unable to afford to go to college, people literally unable to feed their families. And yet, in America today, and I know this is really an astounding fact, 60% of our people, Theo, are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I grew up in a family, I don't know your background, but I grew up in a family that lived paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, yeah, I knew exactly how much money we had. But no, I knew what we had left at the end of each week, and it was in Mom's wallet, Yeah.
All right. And so the simple question that we have to ask ourselves is, how do we feel? And, again, you can disagree with me. You're living in a society today where we have more income and wealth inequality than we've ever had in the history of this country. All right. Mm-hmm. You got the top 1% doing phenomenally well, owning more wealth than the bottom 93%. You got one man, Mr. Musk, one man owning more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. What do you think?
Well, I think it's tough. I think there's two ways to look at it. Well, I think in a bigger scope for me, you have these billionaires, you have these guys that have all of this wealth. It does feel unfair. They used to say, well, just because one person has more money doesn't mean that other people have less money. But just visually, it doesn't even start to seem like that's the truth, right? Optically, for me, it doesn't seem like that's the truth. Do I think there should be a cap on how much money people could have? I do think that there should be. To me, in my heart, it doesn't feel like people need so much money and so much control.
That's the point. I think most people think, and I believe, look, you go out, you're doing it. I mean, you start a business, you're making money, right? Mm-hmm. Congratulations. We appreciate that. You make money. Great. Do you really need hundreds of billions of dollars?
No.
Really?
No.
All right. At that point, these guys, whether it's Zuckerberg or whether it's Bezos, they own their islands and their jet planes and their spaceships and all this crap.
Bunkers.
Right, exactly. All right, anyhow, so I don't begrudge people. Come up with a great idea, work hard, make money. God bless you, But you don't need billions and billions of dollars when people are struggling to put food on the table or afford healthcare. So that's one of the issues that concerns me right now. When I talk about fighting oligarchy, I was on a tour.
Oh, yeah, I know you had a tour with AOC. You guys just... how many cities did you go to?
We have been now, I was in New Jersey last night. It's the 24th state that I've been in. I think we've done 35 events. Well over 300,000 people have come out. And, I got to tell you, I've been to conservative areas. People of this country are not happy about a situation in which so few people, I mean, really a handful of people have such enormous political and economic power.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not what America's supposed to be about. You got rich and you got poor, fine. But not so few having so much power over the economy and power over our political systems.
Well, here's what I would think. But I